Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today and having this conversation. I have to say, I'm so excited about this interview.
Me too.
I've been following you on social media maybe for about a year now.
Wow.
And I've a few times gone on your page and hovered over paying for workshops and courses, and then kind of just come off it and got pulled back into whatever it is that I've been working on. So it really does feel like the right time to be sitting down and connecting with you, although it's not in the capacity I thought it would have been originally. And as I was kind of preparing for this interview and to speak with you, I was looking on your website, obviously, of course, looking at your work that you've done. And one thing that really stood out to me on your website was that you said women come to me, or people come to me, when the time is now. Do you know what I mean? When it really is at the connecting point. There's no more thinking about what to do next. It's you know it's now, and that's whatever the situation is. So I thought it was a beautiful thing that this is how it's connecting, and I'm really excited to get into it. So I know you are a business coach and a lifestyle improver and an advocate for well-being and mental health and business growth and all of these amazing things. I want to know for you what you think the grind means. What does the grind mean if someone was to say that to you?
For me, it's keep going until.
Okay.
Like for me, a real hustler, a real person who's about this life is someone who they've got the vision, and it's the vision. The vision is the vision, and you're going to keep going and keep pushing until it's done. So for me, that is what the grind is all about. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to quit. We are in it. We are all in. And that is what the grind is.
Do you think that there's a personal and professional difference in grind, or do you feel like they all essentially embody as the same thing?
I really think it all comes down to the same thing. It's about having, this is my end goal, whether it's a business, a job, just anything, like this is what I want to achieve. And until I'm there, I'm going to keep going. And for me, that is what the grind represents. It's a type of person who is all in. I'm just
100%,
all in.
I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready to go.
I'm all in.
Okay, I hear that. So like for me, I've always found that there is a specific, when I reflect back on my personal story and my journey on my grind, there's standout points for me which really help me figure out who I am and what I want to do, and also decide a lot of what I don't want and what I don't want to accept, or how I want to work and do my practice. Were there things for you that like clearly stand out to you as a pinnacle point in your life or in your career that has made you decide who you are and decide what you want for yourself? And what were those triggers?
I think for me, one of the biggest pinnacle moments of my life, because I had real issues with my, I couldn't speak very well basically. So I had a stammer since I was a baby. And I guess it was just something that I just, it held me back, things like job interviews, making phone calls. It was just a massive barrier for me. And for me, the pinnacle moment, because I was always taught through speech therapy that this was it, because there isn't a cure for that. And the pinnacle moment for me was when I stumbled upon personal development, and when I came across the idea that you don't have to be the same. If you want to, if you can expand your mind, you can choose to change who you are. And I was so attached to this girl who couldn't speak, and that was how I saw myself. I'm this girl, I can't speak, I can't, and so it was
almost a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. So, it was a key moment where I realized, what if I don't have to stammer anymore? Like, what if I could convince myself that I'm not that girl anymore, and that in actual fact, I'm this strong, confident person? Because when you have a speech impediment, it knocks your confidence. I mean, I couldn't even make a phone call. Like, it was just, I'd get so much anxiety. And so, I shrunk myself, and also I wouldn't speak up because I didn't want everyone to know that I had this speech impediment. So a lot of my life was just silencing myself.
Sure.
Because it was like this dirty little thing that I had that I would never came to terms with. And so for me, it was when I realized I don't want to have that anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm really interested in exploring is whether there is a connection between business and spirituality. And I was so inspired by your story, and it's actually kind of happened to me in my own way. But I was, obviously I said I've been following on social media. I saw your video you posted, you was in a car with your beautiful family, and you said, in 2020, I am getting in Forbes magazine. And then a year later, in 2020, that happened for you, and you posted that again. And I want to know about, like, to me, that's law of attraction, that's manifestation. We're going down Abraham Hicks vibes there. And I want to know whether you think that that's a thing for business, or whether that just happened to you by chance.
Oh no, I manifest everything.
Sure.
I actually spend a lot of time in the future. So as much as I'm present here now, and it's in actual fact, that's one of the things that enabled me to overcome the speech issues that I had. Always thinking about who do I want to be,
Sure.
and where do I want to go.
Wow.
And getting really connected to that person. So for me, it's always what do I want, and really seeing it clearly and allow myself to feel it. So if I want to run a successful business, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And really allowing yourself to see it, to feel it, to connect with it, and then align yourself with it. And then at that point, it's only a matter of time, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just,
You know,
it's done then.
Because it's done, because if like you want to create it here, you want to see it, you want to feel it, and then it's only a matter of time before you can bring it into the physical world. So yeah, it's, for me, it's all spiritual.
Okay.
It's all up here. It's all allowing yourself to connect in the spiritual realm before you can bring it into the physical world.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think it's all relative. It's all great.
Okay, cool. So on a day when perhaps we are questioning who we are and what we're doing and what our next steps are, and perhaps we're not at the place where we feel like we're lovable or we deserve £1 million yet, or even £20,000 in business funding or whatever it might be. If you're at that place in your journey, in your planning, what do you say to somebody in that situation, or what would you have said to yourself at a time where you've not felt 10-10?
Stop playing the victim.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I like that one.
That's it. Like, I don't allow myself to play the victim. I don't allow myself to feel sorry for myself. If something hasn't worked out, I'm like, okay, so boom, what do I need to do now?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can sit in their self-pity and feel sorry for themselves and play the victim and think, oh, it's not happening for me. Why me? Why me? Dead that. Like that attitude, you need to destroy that. You need to take full accountability.
Sure.
You need to just don't play the victim and always be solution focused and say, I can get to where I want to be, and I can do it. So yeah, I really think it comes around the idea of just don't play the victim and just keep it moving.
Yeah, okay. You heard it, guys. I want to hear you speak on how you carved out your path, your journey, your grind, and what were some of the things you did in the beginning, whether that would be about the first time you and your team was planning events, or the first time you was picking up the phone to speak to somebody, or like, how did you start? What was the starting for you?
It's actually quite, I've never, like, what was the actual starting? Okay, so for me, I think a lot of it actually came from me realising that I can change who I am. So once I overcame my speech impediment, which was a massive thing. For my whole life, I had this speech impediment.
Okay.
You know, it held me back from everything, really. So once I had overcome that, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to share this. I need to share what I've learned. So the first business concept for me was events, a live event. So I created an event called I Am Phenomenal, which is, you know, a powerful affirmation. And so the first thing was me realizing what can I bring, like a product or a service where I can empower people, share what I've learned, but also give it a business angle as well.
Yeah.
So that was the event. So the first thing was thinking of a name for it, thinking of a venue. So I remember I didn't know where to have it. So I hopped in my car one day and I drove all around Birmingham, because I was thinking, I want to go and have a look at places. And so for me, it was just taking action.
Yeah.
It was just being bold and saying, I'm going to make this work.
Yeah. So how has your family and your friends and your close circle played a part in you achieving your goals as a businesswoman? Everything.
Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful that my circle is solid.
Yeah.
Like my first team who I employed, like, you know, when you start to actually like pay people, it's my friends and family.
Yeah.
So they help me with my events, so actually organize events for me. They will turn up on the day and set the whole room up and sign everyone in. And my family are just so supportive as well. They've always believed in me.
Yeah.
And for me, that has been my ammunition.
Yeah.
Like a solid support team, I wouldn't have been able to do it with them. Like, how can I run? I mean, last year, even this year, the beginning of this year, we were all around the country. We were in London, Manchester, Nottingham.
Yeah.
We were just literally doing events all over the place. And there were times when on my first event to London, on the way there, my tyre exploded on the motorway.
No way.
Oh my goodness.
What timing is that?
Oh my goodness. And it was really early. Oh yeah. But it was having the right people to keep me like positive.
Yeah.
And also to know that because we had to wait around for someone to. At first we were waiting for the AA to come, and then they were taking too long, so we had to call it Uber. So we got an Uber from the West Midlands to London.
That's crazy.
It was so much money, but it was so nice to have a team that just made me not even think about any of that.
Yeah.
So having a good team of people who are pure, filled with love, who have your back, who want you to win. Oh, like when you have that behind you, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing, and I think that has made me feel solid to know that if I've got an idea, if I can't execute it, my team will have my back.
Yeah, sure.
And they will put in the work and put in the hours to the point where I feel bad, like you guys can go home now. Like, no, we need to get this done. For me, you're unstoppable. Yeah. And so, you know, any weak links cannot come with you because they'll hold everything back. Strong, solid people who believe in the vision. Yeah.
Have you ever had to fire somebody or tell somebody that you're not going to work with them?
Yes. It was a work experience student now, so it wasn't like someone who I was paying. You know, sometimes people can see you doing something and it looks so exciting from the outside, and then when they come in, realize the work. Yeah. And aren't really.
Is it a wanty, can't getty?
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what it is? I think a lot of entrepreneurs, and sometimes I'm guilty of this, make it look so smooth and easy. Hey guys, my best life. Because, you know, like my events all sell out and I'm so grateful and everything like that. But the graft that has to go into a sold out event is absolutely unexplainable. And so most people aren't really about this life. They kind of want all the glitz, but when you realize that this takes work, are you going to do the work? Yeah. And then they just stop showing up, slow down on.
So when you're approaching a situation where you're starting to feel a sense of unease that a person may not be right, or maybe a business decision isn't right, or someone's giving you energy that you're not appreciating, how do you have those difficult conversations? What is something that somebody who's maybe perhaps a little less confident than you are, or a little less assured than you are, how would somebody like that say no? Like, how do you become strong enough to say no to somebody when you're not used to that for yourself? Do you know what I mean?
So how do you say no to something that isn't good for you?
Yeah. How does somebody say no?
I think you have to be so connected to the end goal that it's got to be like almost sickening addiction. Yeah. Like, I am too much for a lot of people because all I speak about is this. I'm so addicted to where I'm heading that it's all I really think about.
Yeah.
So you have to be so addicted to where you're heading that anything, person, thing that is a barrier to that has to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think it's not necessarily about learning how to say no. It's about learning how to be so connected to the vision that by default everything gets shook off. You have to shake everything off that is going to stop you from going to where you want to go.
Yeah, yeah.
And then as a result, you will naturally have no choice but to say no. You know, you got to be addicted to where you're heading.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything, person, anything, if it's not in alignment, it can't exist.
Yeah, yeah. I hear that.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that. So I didn't want to delve too deep and take up time into the specifics about your business, because I feel like people should really go on your website. They should really check you out. I know you've got free courses on there, audio courses at the moment that people can go and get now.
Yeah, lots of free. I do lots of free stuff.
But no, but they're great because you've got 10-week programs. I know you do VIP sessions as well, so people can look into you and go and do the work for themselves. And as I did, when you're ready, the time is now, and this is proof of manifestation that it will happen when it's ready. So I do want to go into some more spiritual questions with you, because I think that your perspective is going to be a big lesson for me and everybody listening. So when was your last spiritual awakening? And if it was the greatest, what was the greatest? Or have you had a greatest spiritual awakening?
You know, I try to have as many of them as possible. I try to, well, not try, I do a visualization every single day, where I get new ideas. But I actually had one, I did a meditation / visualization. It was just one I found on YouTube by the spiritual god Sadhguru.
Oh no, I haven't heard of that deity.
So I did one of his visualizations, and it was actually really interesting because he got me to see myself 15 years from today.
Oh wow.
And although I see myself in the future, my goals aren't really that further ahead. I'm not someone who, you know, I kind of have a lot of short-term goals as opposed to like the big goal. Well, I actually saw one of my 15-year goals, and it was so profound because I think that at the beginning of your journey, you have to be selfish. I really think you have to. But you have to make sure that it's only so that the end goal is inclusive.
Okay.
I think everyone has to benefit from you at some point.
Yeah, sure.
But I think in the beginning, you have to be that laser focus, let me help me first. But my end vision that I saw was so inclusive that I was just crying because everyone was benefiting. People who I don't know, and everyone was just included in that vision. And I think that you have to understand that the end goal should be inclusive. As many people should be positively impacted by what you're trying to build.
Have you heard of a teacher called Wayne Dyer?
Yes, I love Wayne Dyer. He passed away, R.I.P.
I know,
But
and
yeah,
R.I.P. Wayne.
Yeah.
He's a big one. I've got a plant named after him in my house. I probably will name one of my children, or the middle names. It will be in there somewhere. But yeah, he talks about the morning and afternoon shift of your life.
Okay.
And there's a film called The Shift on YouTube. I'm going to send it to you afterwards, and anybody else should check it out because it's all about the trajectory shift. And for women, it's usually in their late 30s. They're like in the beginning, in the ascent. It's all about being subservient and how does the world view me, and am I a good daughter, and am I good in my community, am I serving my purpose? And then as they shift into their afternoon of their life, they tend to start looking at different questions. So they're saying to themselves, okay, well, where's my creativity, and what's really fulfilling me, and I don't want to just be a mom or just be this or just be a that. There's more to me, and you start discovering it as a woman typically quite later on. And for men, it's slightly opposite. So their ascent in the morning of their life is about ego, and it's highly charged on success and how they're perceived. And then towards the afternoon, it becomes about family, and it becomes about am I a good brother? Am I a good father? And that usually happens after their ego has been burnt out.
Okay,
They've either accomplished or not accomplished where they are. But the film's fantastic in explaining that, and it's got some really interesting storylines in there. So it's cool.
Check that out.
Yeah, please do. So I would like to hear you speak about the most exciting thing that has happened to you in your business, something that's spurred you on, that's inspired you and your team, and yeah.
The most exciting thing that has happened to me in my business, well, I guess I could speak about the thing that's happening right now.
Oh yeah, please do.
So I think it's because me as a business coach, one thing that's really important to me is I am always leveling up myself so I can share with other people. And so it's during this Corona that I decided to bring out my first product. So it's a hair butter, which I'm going to plug.
Oh, yeah.
So a few years ago, I think I was in my late teens, my hair started to fall out.
Okay.
Hair loss, went really thin and whatnot. And then I literally just decided that I want healthy hair. I don't want to be losing my hair. So I created a hair butter that I started using. My hair just, as you can see, just started getting really thick and grow and whatnot. And I think one of the most exciting things that has happened to me is through the courage that I've been able to build is just to try things and to do it and to not sleep on it and to take action and to implement quickly. So literally I built a whole product, a whole brand. It's been tested in the UK and in America, and it's ready to bring to the market, and it comes out on the 2nd of November. Okay.
Okay,
and,
nice.
And I just think I would never have had the courage to do it so quickly.
Sure.
Because, you know, for a lot of people, they want to take years to get the brand right and the funding. And I think because of my financial plan, I had the finances to do it myself, which is, I'm a massive advocate of manage your money really well, save your money, invest your money so you have an overflow. So if you have an idea, you don't have to wait for funding to come through. I'm a massive advocate of make your money work hard for you, so when you've got an idea you can bring it to the marketplace. And it's been very expensive, but I'm just so grateful that I learned good money management skills, so I had the funds to do it all myself and had the courage to believe that I can. And I would never have done that before. I mean, I was just creating this for me. I created this butter almost 10 years ago, and I was just happily you know, for me. And I thought, no, the world needs to have this too. And so for me, the most exciting thing in business is having the courage and keeping the promises to yourself. So I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to do it. And I think it makes you feel so powerful to know that you can have an idea and within a matter of months, it's in the marketplace. And for me, I think this hair butter, it's my first tangible thing that a lot of my work is services and live events. So to actually have a product, as a business owner, as a business person, I'm always trying to empower and inspire everyone around me. So I'm really excited about this.
Okay, I'm excited too, and I will definitely be getting mine. I just want to say thank you so much for coming to sit with me and to discuss everything that we shared in this conversation. I do want to ask one more question as we leave the interview. If you was in a nightclub or you was in a bar and things were feeling a bit of a dead vibe, what would be the tune that would get you up to be like, okay, I'm gonna hang on for another half an hour?
The tune that would make me hang on for another half an hour? Oh my God, that is such a good question. Probably some Beyonce.
Okay, yes.
Probably some partner, let me upgrade. Probably something where I can have some attitude. Probably,
All right,
some Beyonce, maybe.
All right. Cue Beyonce upgrade you, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Thank